Welcome back to the channel. Imagine the heart of medieval Rome, bustling yet shadowed under the weight of ecclesiastical power. Here, on a dark day, a deceased pope, Pope Formosus, was exhumed, dressed in papal vestments, and placed on trial. This spectacle was about to unfold. This macabre event, forever etched in history as the Cadaver Synod, stands as one of the most infamous, grotesque episodes in the annals of the papacy. Its bizarre nature shocked the medieval world, a scene absurd and eerie, unfolding under the shadowed arches of Rome's sacred basilicas. To unravel how we arrived at this grotesque moment, we must explore the life and controversies surrounding Pope Formosus. This tale of political machinations and ecclesiastical intrigue cast long shadows over his pontificate, sowing seeds for a posthumous fate as scandalous as any in history. Throughout Formosus's reign, his papacy was embroiled in a web of political intrigue. His influence stretched across the turbulent Italian peninsula, embroiled in the power struggles of kings and emperors. The political tension was palpable, with Formosus often walking a precarious tightrope between rival factions. Formosus faced accusations of violating sacred church canons by presiding over multiple dioceses, an act seen as ambitious overreach. These allegations, sealed in ancient documents, whispered of ambitions that defied the norms, casting long shadows over his papacy and laying the groundwork for future retribution. Moreover, Formosus allegedly conspired against the reigning dynasty of the ever-powerful Holy Roman Empire. The empire's intricate political web was fraught with danger and intrigue, and Formosus was rumored to have played a dangerous game, maneuvering within this treacherous landscape. Upon his death in 896, Formosus was laid to rest with all the honors befitting a pope. His serene tomb in a medieval cemetery seemed to promise eternal peace. Little did anyone suspect that his final resting place would be disturbed, his legacy questioned, setting the stage for an unprecedented scandal. Yet, Pope Stephen VI, Formosus's successor, harbored grudges and had unresolved scores to settle. With a heart full of vengeance and ambition for consolidating power, Stephen plotted a move that would shock Christendom, setting the stage for one of the Church's darkest spectacles. Driven by a lust for vengeance and power, Pope Stephen VI ordered the exhumation of Formosus's body. Under the veil of night, torch-lit shadows danced across the cemetery as the grave was unearthed, revealing the decayed remains of the once revered pope, now a pawn in a game of ecclesiastical chess. Stephen's intent was clear: to invalidate Formosus's papacy and nullify all his clerical appointments. In a medieval council, clergy debated fiercely, their voices echoing through the vaulted halls as they weighed the legitimacy of Formosus's decisions, now tainted by the specter of scandal. In the chilling month of January 897, the ghastly trial began. The Basilica di San Giovanni Laterano, Rome's ancient heart, became the stage for this macabre courtroom drama. Clergy gathered under the dim light of flickering candles, the air thick with tension and anticipation. In a bizarre and unsettling scene, the corpse of Formosus was dressed in robes and propped up on a throne, a grotesque parody of papal authority. This macabre display of a skeletal figure, adorned with sacred garments, was both a spectacle and a sacrilege, a haunting image that lingered in the minds of all present. To defend Formosus, a deacon was appointed to speak on behalf of the silent corpse. With somber dignity, he read from a scroll, his voice echoing in the basilica's vastness, attempting to vindicate a man who could neither speak nor defend himself, as the skeletal figure sat mute beside him. The charges were leveled, each word a blow: perjury and illegitimately assuming the papacy. The somber courtroom echoed with the gravity of these accusations, the weight of justice hanging heavy in the air, as clergy and onlookers absorbed the drama of this extraordinary trial. The shocking spectacle of the Cadaver Synod reverberated through Rome, creating a deep rift among both clergy and the faithful. The wide streets outside the basilica filled with murmurs of dissent and disbelief as the Roman populace grappled with the unprecedented drama unfolding within their sacred city. Many Romans were appalled by the indignity shown to a former pope, whether alive or dead. The crowd's faces, etched with disbelief and anger, reflected a city torn by controversy. Their murmurs of discontent rose into a chorus of outrage, echoing the deep wounds inflicted on the papal office. Despite the palpable outrage, Formosus was declared guilty. The clergy delivered their verdict in a tense courtroom, the words sealing the fate of a man unable to defend himself. This grim conclusion only deepened the divide, as the echoes of the guilty verdict lingered in the basilica's once sacred halls. In a brutal act of desecration, Formosus's papal decrees were annulled, his sacred vestments torn asunder. The scene of the desecration, with the removal of the vestments, was a vivid symbol of the Church's ruthless determination to erase his papacy from history, a moment both shocking and profound. Adding to the grotesque ritual, 3 fingers from Formosus's right hand, once used for blessings, were severed. This symbolic mutilation, witnessed by a horrified assembly, underscored the severity of the charges and the lengths Stephen VI went to erase Formosus's legacy from the annals of the papacy. In a final act of symbolic rejection, the corpse was thrown into the muddy waters of the Tiber River. This act, meant to signify the illegitimacy of Formosus's papacy, instead cast a long shadow over Stephen VI's reign, adding fuel to the fires of unrest burning within the city. Yet, the consequences of this act rippled far beyond the Tiber's banks, sowing chaos and discontent throughout Rome. The streets became a theater of unrest, where torches and angry citizens converged, expressing their outrage at the desecration of papal dignity, an affront that would not soon be forgotten. For Pope Stephen VI, the Cadaver Synod was a disaster that spiraled out of control. The spectacle, intended to consolidate his power, backfired spectacularly. Stephen VI found himself overwhelmed by the backlash, his papacy marred by the scandal that he had orchestrated, much to his regret. The outrage sparked by this desecration was immense, seen as a violation of the papal office itself. Heated debates erupted among clergy and citizens alike, their voices rising in condemnation as the scandal stained the Church's reputation, leaving a deep wound that would take years to heal. Stephen VI's enemies seized the opportunity presented by the scandal, swiftly moving against him. Rival factions, long simmering in the shadows, emerged to challenge his authority. Their plotting and machinations would soon bring about the downfall of a pope who had overreached in his quest for power. Within mere months, Stephen VI was overthrown, imprisoned by adversaries who had capitalized on his folly. His imprisonment was brief, his end ignominious, as he met his demise, strangled in his cell. Thus ended the reign of a pope whose ambition led to brutality and his ultimate downfall. The legacy of the Cadaver Synod cast a long shadow over the Church. This grotesque chapter served as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition. Medieval councils grappling with the Synod's fallout saw the Church wrestling with its own identity, a struggle to restore dignity and order. Subsequent popes endeavored to distance the Church from the Synod's grotesque spectacle, striving to rebuild the papacy's tarnished image. Decrees were issued, reforms enacted, all aimed at restoring the sanctity and honor of an institution that had been shaken to its core by the scandal. Later synods worked to invalidate the outcomes of the Cadaver Synod, overturning its verdicts and seeking to restore legitimacy to the papal office. This process of reconciliation was fraught with challenges, yet essential to re-establishing the Church's moral authority and credibility in a turbulent era. Eventually, Formosus's body was retrieved from the Tiber and reburied with dignity. This act of reparation was a symbolic gesture, a step towards healing the rifts caused by the Synod. The peaceful reburial marked a turn towards reconciliation, a quiet restoration of honor to a maligned papacy. In time, Formosus's reputation was rehabilitated, his name cleared in the annals of history. The Cadaver Synod, though a grotesque anomaly, became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the lengths to which power struggles could go. It serves as a lesson in the enduring complexities of papal politics. The absurdity of the Cadaver Synod endures, highlighting the extreme lengths of power struggles even beyond the grave. This haunting tale of ambition and retribution offers insights into the human condition and the enduring nature of political intrigue. For more stories like this, subscribe and turn on notifications.